Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel.
Hope you have a wonderful day. In today's video, we're going to answer a Q&A that I found out somewhat interesting based on personal finance, couple finance, and anything in between. If you like this type of content, guys, don't forget to subscribe, comment. That'd be muchly appreciated. Without further ado, the question goes. I'm hitting 40 with a mortgage of $900,000. Screwed up with my finance with two credit cards. One of them is 20,000 and the other one is 40,000. Used to maximize it's maxed out. Use it to maximum to furnish the home and buying a car. Had a good saving before that. Wife doesn't understand the financial situation and spend on non-essential items, living paycheck to paycheck. With pay, I'm able to manage repayment on time, but left nothing for future. Need your thought and how to overcome this stress. So, where do we go? Where do we start?
It's not only money problem and it's relationship communication issue. So we had a lot of
Disagreement, argument, conflict of conversation.
When we're moving out of Sydney, coming to Brisbane, choosing a house, doing furniture, doing renovation, gardening, everything conflicts. Okay, yeah. But look, we still go through budget. He won't just let me do what I want, and I won't let him do what he wants. So you
as a couple, you should be having the conversation.
You have to have communication. You can't just say, my partner doesn't understand about finance and he or she spend all the money. If you guys do not communicate, that will be the problem.
Yeah, so we found that having communicating and actually go through the whole entire finance of the ins and out of your family matters, let's say.
Yep.
It helps a lot.
Yeah.
Where especially where the mortgage repayment, you got a mortgage of 900,000. How you're going to tackle that, and you have let's say a debt $20,000 as well as $40,000. How are you going to tackle that? What is the repayment? What's the interest rate? How much do you have to make a payment every month? Let's say you need to have that conversation. The quicker, the earlier, the better it is, because it's not just a single person
decision.
No.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of relationship seems like it's the male dominant, or the male is taking control of the finance. The female side, I don't know how much is the mortgage, I don't know how much is repayment, I just spend the money. It feels like it, and I feel like a female should also take responsibility, not only contributing to the financial side of the house, and also making financial decision. How can we be more like financial savvy? How can we do budget? How can we plan for our finance in the future? Because finance is one of the things a lot of couples, I think they don't talk about that.
Yeah, especially
not as open.
Not as open. We found that as well. Whereas most couples that we talk to, they seems to have a separate finance, or they have a sinking fund in the middle where the wife put a certain portion and the husband put a certain portion.
That's not how we work. We just put it in everything together, because we marry, we share everything. Why can't we share the money? And why can't we share our value of money? How do I feel like to spend this money on this item, but you don't see the need of that spending on that item? For example, for me too, we moved in this house. We got some. We don't even buy new furniture.
Yep.
We just not really inheriting. We bought a secondhand from the last owner. Yes. Yeah. And then we need some chairs, and I just bought it, and he got angry too. So communication.
Like for example, actually, before we even purchased the furniture from the old owner, at least we sat down and talk about it. How much is it gonna cost? Is this gonna ruin our budget? Is it part of it? Do we have the surplus buffer to buy the additional furniture? And if you don't talk about those things and you just make action and purchase it, there might be a friction in there.
And I feel like sometimes when you move to a new house, it's new, and the emotion is way bigger than your sensible logic.
We
Sometimes
do
I'm like
that.
that.
Okay, hey,
Yeah,
the
I do
both
that
of
too.
us. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. Furniture shopping, it can get like a wave like this.
They are so expensive. Literally last week we just went for couch.
Yes.
Checking on new sofa because the sofa we got it from previous owner is not as comfortable.
Mhm.
But then we went at $4,000. You really want to spend it?
We
We
were
got the
so
second hand for
close.
$400.
We were so close to actually go.
Oh
Okay,
no,
let's
no, I wasn't. I
like
wasn't.
as in like in my mind
Yeah.
already thinking of I gotta
Okay, we
budget
should
this.
budget 4,000 in the future to do it. But then yesterday we did some layout. We used another couch. We just put it in. Oh, it's perfect now. It's just maybe a few years later when it's old,
Yeah.
then we will upgrade. But it's
We
just
talked about it.
communicate. Yes, that's what I want. So what we do is want. Is it a need? If it is, do we have the money? If we don't, how can we budget it and when?
And if you do decide to use a credit card, which is what we don't do,
No.
or personal loan, credit card, or some sort of debt, we don't do that. If we can't pay them in cash, then we don't buy it.
We save it up.
Yeah, we just wait until we have in the cash to do it. For example, brand new car. Yes, we do drive a brand new car. We didn't buy it on finance. We buy it in cash.
It's our first ever brand new car in our life.
And we're in that age.
Yeah.
We're in that 40 age.
40, yeah.
So overall, like beforehand, we had a $15,000 car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then previously before that, it's about $15,000 car again. And buying brand new car with them. And I guess it sounded like they just moved into a new house at $900,000. You want everything brand new because everyone else in the neighborhood, maybe you have that pressure as well. I understand that.
Yeah.
You know, the pressure of, I'm moving to a new house. I want new furniture. I want to look stylish.
Yeah.
But at what cost?
Yeah, a lot of costs. Will be even ruining your marriage.
Yeah. For example, in this instance, as the husband, it sounded like the husband is the one that is taking care of that personal finance side. I bet you he doesn't sleep well at night because he's thinking and pondering, how do I make this payment?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's probably a bit burdened the fact that he's looking at that $900,000 mortgage
and interest rates slowly creeping up.
Yeah, plus the credit card repayment every month. Not only you got the mortgage, you also got the 2 credit cards. So I bet
and also he's saying the partner is buying non-essential items.
Yeah.
So for me, first I'll talk to the wife first. So there is a situation here. We're in trouble. We don't have anything left. What if one of us lose our job?
That's the scenario that we always go into.
Yes. What if one of us don't have the job? Can we afford it?
Yeah.
So you try to live with one person income at any time.
And make sure it's the lowest income.
Yes.
Not the highest income. It's the lowest income.
Yeah.
So what we look at it is like, okay, then if worst come to worst, like the highest income earner, let's assume will be the husband, end up losing the job. Are we going to be able to be okay to make all of this repayment or live?
Just to live.
Just to live.
Repayment, your food, transportation, some emergency.
Yeah.
So you need to have a plan like that. First is to talk.
Yeah, the main point is actually sit down, talk to each other, and voice your concern.
Correct.
Because if you don't do that, the earlier the better.
Because if they don't talk about that, maybe the hole will get dig bigger.
Yes. So and then your stressor will probably going to go higher as well. Correct. Because I went through that at a certain point in our relationship when we had our, I guess, 2 newborn, I guess. Yep. We were expecting after the firstborn, you were going back to work. And then a couple of years later, we can then have the second one. Yeah. But we ended up having the kids back to back. So
yeah, and I didn't work for 7 years.
Yeah. Eventually. So eventually we didn't work for 7 years. And there's a certain level in there where it's like, hey, there's a friction in here. How can we budget this? Hey, we're not making enough income. What do we have to do to, I guess, float above water?
Yeah, we struggle a lot at that time.
Yeah. So, and if we don't talk about it, it would be
worse.
It would get worse.
Anyway, so first is talking, communication, and then after that, get rid of the car. Do you really need? I hope, is the $40,000 credit card is for the car. I assume maybe they have some fun. I hope they have some fun and just use the 40,000 to top up the car.
Yeah,
Depends
so
on,
let's assume that,
yeah.
let's say if you have a $40,000 car, if you sell it now, maybe it goes down to 35,000. So
Yeah,
you're
hopefully.
you know, in a hole of 5,000 as an
Mhm.
example.
Then
And
you can pay it off quickly and less
correct.
repayment, which means you will have more money to put aside or pay off your mortgage or pay the other $20,000 on furniture.
Yeah, and then
20,000.
maybe even go back to
Mm.
buy a beat up car,
Mm.
just enough to get you point A to point B.
Yep.
As a temporary.
Yep.
It's not a
Or
permanent
we
thing.
were driving all this old car for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, one of them that I don't even have an aircon.
No.
Got up to that stage where it's like, yeah, a manual window at one of them.
Mhm.
So, yeah, those are the things that we had to do because in order for us to keep afloat.
Mhm.
And till this day, like, I would not buy a brand new car if I can't pay in cash.
If you can't pay in cash and you know that you already have other loans, why would you put yourself into a bigger loan?
Yeah,
It's just not sensible.
yeah,
Mm.
especially like maybe even reassess. Like,
Mm.
is this where I want to be?
Mhm.
Whereas like every night I can't really sleep at night. Where there's a lot more stress
I think it's
involved.
just you bought a new house, it's nice, and you need a nice car to match it as well. You need nice furniture to match it. But how many things you have to match it? Then your next year will be your clothes, and
Yes.
I don't know. It's just never ends.
Yes. So, I think that's about it. Hey?
Yep.
So, number one, have a sit down, have a chat with your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Then lay it out there. Hey, this is what we have. This is the debt that we have. This is the repayment that we have. This is how much income
And then
we're
work
earning.
on a scenario. What if one of us is sick? One of us lost a job?
Yeah.
Because it did happen to one of our friends, and they were sensible, so they were okay.
Yeah. And then have like a worst case scenario. Hey, what do we have to do here? What if, for example, with the mortgage alone at 900,000 at the moment, based on this, it sounded like they're living paycheck to paycheck. What if tomorrow the interest rate goes up by 1%, 2, 3?
Yeah, that would be very stressful.
We've seen a mortgage, a mortgage rate went from 2%, and now it's like nearly 7, like 6 something. So yeah, that's a jump of roughly about 4% over the past of, let's say, a year or so.
3 years.
Yeah,
2-3 years.
About 2 or 3 years. So how are you going to cope from whatever the current repayment is to an extra 4% on top?
Yeah.
So that's just our 2 cents, guys, based on our personal scenario. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe, comment.
See you next time.
Bye.